Hello, welcome back to the Run to Remember podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. This week, meet Jennifer Nakayama, President and CEO of Downtown OKC. Jennifer is also a Memorial Trustee. We're excited to chat with her and hear how Downtown OKC gets ready for race weekend. Then hear from David Holt, Mayor of Oklahoma City, as we chat about the golden age of OKC, his leadership, and his continued commitment to one of our city's most meaningful traditions. And last but certainly not least, meet Mason and Kelsey Hudson. Mason and Kelsey credit the Memorial Marathon for bringing them together. Listen as they share their story of finding love and overcoming obstacles. The 2026 OKC Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th. Visit okcmarathon.com and sign up to run, walk, or volunteer. Carrie, it's March.
It's March. Here we are.
That means next month.
Clock is ticking very loud.
Yeah.
The calendar pages are flipping quickly.
The calendar is flipping. We are excited.
We're so excited to have Jennifer here. Jennifer is kind of the pride of Downtown OKC, and she brings a lot of excitement. I think part of it, I was talking about this the other day, is like we want people to have pride in their properties and their businesses and all that. And I think that's what Downtown OKC helps do. And she's a great partner, and we need all hands on deck race weekend, and they help lead the way. So thanks for being with us.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You know, it's an honor to represent Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership and Downtown OKC just in a big way. You know, we and my family relocated here 3 years ago, and it has been such a pleasure to be part of the Oklahoma City community, not just with the memorial and the marathon, but just everything that it stands for.
Right.
And it's so deep and it's so authentic that it's just so special to us.
I gave this little pep talk yesterday at the Convention and Visitors Commission, which I chair, and just said, you walk around this room and you look at how many people it takes to make Oklahoma City work. It's way more than the mayor, and it is. He's a great leader, but he's got to get all these other people working together in the right direction. Jennifer has to do the same, and you've got all these businesses. You've got some struggles, and then we've got some great victories, but we have to keep working together. Otherwise, we worked too hard to get this far, right?
Yeah,
so we
exactly.
want to keep moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the Business Improvement District shows exactly that. The resiliency of Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, in that it is about something bigger than ourselves. It's not like, for the businesses that are part of the Business Improvement District of downtown, it's not what literally is happening right outside their door. It is, but it is also broader.
Right.
It's about their neighbor and their neighbor's neighbor. And
Right.
that's the true beauty, I think, of what really drives the passion in Oklahoma City, and what makes the marathon so special too, is that we are here for a much bigger purpose, a much bigger driver than just ourselves.
Well, that's what really the marathon's about. And so I think when you think about how marathon weekend, we just kind of consume downtown Oklahoma City.
Sure.
What all do you guys have to do to get prepared for that?
Well, our green team, which is our cleaning and safety and maintenance crew, including landscaping, is going around 365 days a year. But in preparation for the marathon especially, we make sure that there's a lot of tidiness and business connections, making sure that everybody is aware and communicated with if there are closures, if there is any nuance to downtown patterns of what would be not the typical day downtown. And then mainly making sure that this is Oklahoma City on an international, quite literal stage. And so this can be the first impression for many, and we want to make it as clean and welcoming and hospitable as possible. And that's why the bid and the green team is really there to make that happen.
And what's the impact? You talk about, this might be the first time people see the city. What's the impact just on local businesses and things like that in the area? This weekend
there is definitely a spike in a very positive way. We saw over 2025, the whole calendar year, we saw about 25 million visitors to downtown Oklahoma City. Within the Sunday Marathon Day last year, there was about 130,000. Just within that Sunday. And some can be attributable to some other things that were happening.
NBA championship and things like that.
Minor little things like that. There was a lot of excitement. But needless to say, 130,000 folks were in downtown Oklahoma City, for that Sunday race day. And so thinking about that entire race weekend, thinking about the week leading up to that with training and things, it's just phenomenal about how much energy is put in. And so then therefore the businesses thrive because of that. And they lean into specials and giveaways and different things, knowing that there is going to be this special group of runners. I see some restaurants, for instance, they do some carb focused
Carb loading, yes.
meals that maybe they don't normally, but so they really try to own into the special audience that we have.
What do you think makes this such a special weekend in downtown? I mean, we do all the businesses pour into it. The hotels are full. I mean, what does make this? And we likely could be in a playoff game again this year.
Right, yeah.
So what does make this such a unique weekend in downtown Oklahoma City?
I think that's exactly it in a roundabout way. We might have a playoff game. We might have, or we would have Festival of the Arts.
Right.
Last year we had barrel racing.
Right.
So, but instead of it feeling overlapping and daunting and competitive, it's embracing and collective. Let's do this together. Let's build on the synergy. It's not taking from one to give to the other. It's just about let's have this huge excitement for everybody and be happy that so many eyes are on Oklahoma City in so many different ways, and whatever that is that brings them here, we want to just make sure that they are inspired to come back again and to really enjoy when they're here.
And that's really one of the things that makes it. What we try to highlight, we highlighted at the expo, is just that there's more to do while you're here. And even if you come to the Memorial any other time of the year, we want people to see all of Oklahoma City, not just the Memorial. It's as important as it is. It's also about the other people who've built back and come back and their strength and new businesses, new people who've moved here. We want everyone to feel that importance.
And how do you think that the Oklahoma City community, how have we created that culture where we're not competing with each other, but we're building each other up and we're adding on?
I think in a very symbiotic, around circle of life type of way. It began with the roots of the Memorial, truly that there was darkness, and from that darkness came the light. And in the light, I think other cities, other communities may take it in a different directions. Ours in a divisive way, and ours came together in a very cohesive way. And I think that penetrates not just from the bombing incident, but in everything that we therefore do. We know that life is not going to be rainbows and unicorns every single day. But it is about learning from that. It's about moving on from that. And I think that's something that is deep-rooted and authentic in those that live and are passionate about Oklahoma City.
And just for you personally, I mean, I'm sure that this weekend it's a lot of work. You're also a trustee on the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. What is this weekend like for you, just from a personal standpoint?
It is invigorating. It is exhausting, but it is
So true.
invigorating, right? I think Carrie and I feel that same way. So, like, she and I will text or call after something major in downtown happens, and we both know how each other feels. But invigorating because what it means for the city as a whole, but the businesses, the residents, it's inspiring in the moment, but it's even inspiring bigger picture when you can take a step back and think about every building year, every new project that comes online or is announced. It's just about, like, what is that going to look like 3 years from now, 10 years from now? I think that's the real excitement. And sometimes it helps to have that perspective, because when you're in the moment, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of operational logistics and things like that. And of course, little speed bumps happen along the way, but it's about keeping that bigger perspective of why we're really here and the bigger objective of everything that's Oklahoma City that's going to be for years to come.
I think one thing that Jennifer brings to the table is great collaboration, and she'll bring the right people to the table to make things work. But as runners come to Oklahoma City, and if you're not downtown, downtown looks a little different. There's a big old convention center that's now you can see through it,
Right.
and it's going to be the way through the race weekend, and so they'll be wrapping up the cleanup of that. And I was talking to them yesterday, saying I want to do something on the Robinson side, because for people who are only downtown that weekend, or
Sure.
I want them to see what that new arena is going to look like.
That's a
But
great idea.
wow, is that ever a difference in the landscape?
Yes, it really is. And I think that that's great to show that Oklahoma City is not stagnant and that we are evolving physically, but then I think it's also just mentally too about, the expansion of things happening over in Bricktown in the years to come. So
Right.
the addition of a new multi-purpose stadium, some other entertainment complexes, but Bricktown is still alive right now today.
Oh, it's unreal.
So, please come and visit.
Right.
It's just on the literal other side of the railroad tracks, and sometimes that seems like a defining barrier, but there's so many businesses and restaurants and things over there.
A lot of fun underneath.
Patronize.
Great little baseball team.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Oklahoma
our
City
Comets
Comets,
are over
yep.
there. Taking a game while you're there. Midtown is a great restaurant and retail place as well. West Village District, we have in West Village the historic film row of where film production companies used to come through. So a lot of history buffs love that piece of it. City Center, Deep Deuce, Automobile Alley is.
It's all fun.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
so there's lots, as you're saying, Carrie, lots of things to do. And hopefully people do take in a lot in downtown while they're here.
Well, thank you for all your work and
Yeah,
for your
you're
team.
just a
I
great
know.
champion
I know it's
for-
not. I know we're not always the easiest client. So thanks for being with
Yeah,
us, and thanks
yeah.
for cheering us on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Well, it's coming along, and you really do realize how important those downtown folks make this race, make it or break it. I mean, they really do. And their spirit of cooperation and letting us close roads in front of the businesses or churches and how we work around them. I'm so grateful for all of them.
Yeah, it's a great place, and it's definitely, you need to get into downtown OKC.
Yep, you'll love it.
Next up, we have Mayor David Holt joining us again. He's a familiar voice on the podcast.
Welcome back.
Thank you, making my annual appearance.
Yes.
Yes, we had
You're
you
a little
back.
earlier than normal this year, but we're glad to have you. He is the head of all the mayors, so we got to squeeze you in when we can get you.
Oh, well,
That's
that's
right.
sure,
But
sure.
I brought you a treat. I have
cool.
this shirt on, and I brought Kristen one too, because if I wear a new shirt and don't bring her one, I'm in trouble.
That's right. I
But
get really
it's run the
jealous.
city. Basically, you can say I run the city, but you can
okay.
wear it.
Yeah,
I
you
like
can
I
take a
like that.
little
It has
Sharpie, add an eye.
extra meaning for
Yes,
me.
it does.
Yes.
It does. So I think it's kind of fun, and these are popular shirts, and you can get them on our website. But wanted you guys to have first two off the press.
Thank
so,
you.
Wow,
I will
honored.
Wear
Thank
it
you.
with pride.
Yeah. So, welcome back. Busy weekend in Oklahoma City, marathon weekend, and we
Always.
hope to be in the playoffs that weekend here or somewhere else. But we were talking earlier with Jennifer, like it is a different feel downtown without the old Myriad / Cox.
Yeah.
And so the runners will see a big, huge space on the course, but
Yeah.
they're going to watch as the next couple of years, watch the new arena come out of the ground.
Yeah. Well, you've put me now in the shoes of the runner who comes and sees Oklahoma City once a year, and I
Right.
suppose you have a few
Lots.
probably
Yeah.
like that.
Or for the first time.
Yeah. Well, those who make a regular visit and have something to compare it
Sure.
to, obviously probably have already seen a lot of evolution over these last couple of decades, and certainly it never stops. I mean, that's the story of Oklahoma City. We keep investing in ourselves, and I mean, just since I've been mayor, we have opened Scissortail Park and incorporated it into the marathon. We've opened the Boulevard and incorporated it into the marathon, and obviously over these next 4 years, we're going to have this really remarkable piece of architecture join our skyline, and that is this $1 billion arena. And certainly the runners will get a fun opportunity to see that once a year. This time they'll not see much other than kind of just a big flat piece of land. But when they come back
Big open skyline. That's kind of cool.
yeah, and then when they come back in 2027, they'll probably see quite a bit. And then by the time they come back in 28, we'll probably be working on the inside by that point. So
Right.
in many ways, the outside will be, I think, complete. So it's a very aggressive timeline for this particular project, but it's going to be a fun couple of years for all of us watching it emerge in downtown.
Right. Those projects that we know from our own forward project, they start slow and then all of a sudden they start coming really quick. But as the mayor of the city, the Memorial Marathon is called Run to Remember. What does that mean to you?
It's as I often say, it's the most meaningful marathon in America. I can't imagine anything that would rival it. It is a marathon born out of this terrible event in 1995, but is yet another example of the way our community has responded to that terrible event. You know, it's like I always say, we didn't necessarily want to be identified with the bombing, but we definitely want to be identified with the way we responded to it. And the marathon is part of that. And what a story! I mean, it's now a major supplement to the memorial's income. I mean, again, none of that really by design, all organic, and it has become one of the iconic milestones on the calendar here in Oklahoma City, and as you know, brings tens of thousands of people to the city. So much so that I've got to do better at getting there in the morning, because it is becoming almost impossible to arrive on the schedule I like to arrive Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Because I have seen the traffic just continue to grow around this event.
I have
But
some great texts from
I can only imagine.
I'm running late. I'm not going to make it. Just start without me. Wait, I think I can do it. I'm
Get
running.
through these dump trucks. I can't. You're the mayor.
If the mayor
an
can't
escort.
get there, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I thought I was cooked. I was like, I'm out. Sorry, I'm going to miss it. And then somehow, some way, I got there.
And last year, was that the year you were riding around in the lead car?
I've done that. It was probably like 3 years ago.
2 years, yeah.
That was so cool. I really recommend, you can find it somewhere on my social media, search for it. I made like
think
a
it's on our
10-minute,
YouTube.
yeah, maybe on your YouTube.
Yeah.
I made a 10-minute video of what is obviously a 2-hour experience,
Sure.
but the highlights, and it's just, you'd think like, I can't watch 10 minutes of people cheering. I'm telling you, because
Yep.
it changes every 5 seconds. It's
It does.
unbelievable
Yeah.
when you watch that
I've
whole
never
10
ridden
minutes.
in the lead car, so he was sending me stuff. I loved it because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't get to see that.
Right. No, it'd be such
Yeah.
a fun experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to get in that lead car
I
one
think
day.
it's going to be really hard for you to do, Carrie, but
The
if
race,
anybody
the
can.
race and the city have grown significantly over the last 31 years, and you're great about talking about how many people were here that weren't here in 1995. But how do we keep teaching those who come behind us and making sure they know this story and how this city is a testament of what working together in one OKC means?
Yeah, well, you obviously, you and the memorial are doing that work, and if we didn't have a memorial and a museum that is constantly working towards reinvention and being at the cutting edge of the way things are presented, it would be a different story. But your Forward project is just another example of that constant vigilance in ensuring that the story from 1995 is relevant to today, and that its lessons are continuing to be imparted. I often say that the memorial and the museum first and foremost exist to honor those who were killed, those who survived, and those changed forever. But certainly as the years go on, that evolves even more and more into really its what is now its secondary purpose, but may one day will be its primary purpose, and that is imparting the lessons of the bombing to everybody, and fundamentally the evils of political violence. And it seems like that there's always cause for that, because unfortunately humans are ever capable of committing evil acts and hurting each other. And so it seems to me, and as you know, I've said in the remembrance ceremonies year after year after year, like, this is a scar in the downtown of Oklahoma City that everyone around the world should use as their reminder. They don't need any more reminders. Use this as your reminder to not go down that path. And certainly the museum especially does that work with all of the programming and everything around it. So you guys do a great job, and you're very conscious of the fact that modern Americans have an ever-changing way in which they want to receive information, and so you've done a great job. I mean, even though the museum just recently celebrated its 25th anniversary, there's an entire remodel that happened in the middle of that.
Right.
It's not stale at all. And then here, once again, with the Forward project, you're pushing the envelope again.
Well, I think we share that same message of civic unity and meeting in the middle. I mean, your whole 70% of people are in the middle is a reminder of that. And how does the marathon play a role in that?
Well, the marathon is this great shared communal experience, which sometimes current and modern Americans feel those don't exist anymore. Like, we don't watch the same shows, we don't cheer for the same political parties or whatever, right? But here you have this experience where tens of thousands of people come together who are obviously have to be different political parties, different religions, different backgrounds, and we're all just supporting each other and cheering for each other, and we're not asking who you voted for in the last presidential election, right? So I think it's fundamentally one of those great communal experiences that reminds us of our shared humanity.
And we can all do this together.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Getting to the finish line, we don't care. Color, skin, political party. We just care that we're all running to remember and
Right.
and running in an effort to
And it's a common
bring
purpose.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good. That's a really good.
So
reminder.
race weekend, what's your tips?
Um,
Start or leave earlier
leave
from
your
home.
house earlier than you were planning on.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm trying to get there Sunday morning, to just like make a few remarks. There are all those other cars that are holding me up. Those are runners, so they're worse off than I am. Arguably, like they've got some real work ahead of
Yeah,
them.
they just abandon their cars and run. It's crazy when you start seeing people just go in the park and run.
So yes, I would suggest arrive early, so you can calmly approach the
Right.
finish line and take a moment to gather your thoughts. But I think for those who aren't running, just engage in it. Like find a way.
plans, yeah.
There's stuff now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? It's a
Right.
weekend. It's
Right.
not just a marathon. It's a whole weekend of events. So there's so many ways to engage in it. Obviously, the first and foremost is finding a spot on the path
course,
of
yeah.
the course itself. And that's always really, really fun. I recognize, like, some people probably think, well, it's a little early in the morning for me, but
Go home and take a nap later.
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's very rewarding, and especially if you live on it. It always amazes me how many people don't even bother to walk to the end of their driveway, right? So especially in Nichols Hills. Yeah, that's right. I called you out, Nichols Hills. I
Oh no.
Get out early and
haven't
run.
been in the lead
Or
car.
the mayors.
Last year we had all the mayors on. He challenged the Nichols Hills mayor to get people out. Remember that?
So get out there
Challenge
and cheer them on, and you will not regret it, even if you have to go back and take a nap later.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mayor Holt, for all that you do. For the city all year round, but especially this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
He'll
you.
kick us off at the expo on that Friday morning, and so we're excited to
And
to
if
have
he can
his
get
help
there
and
on
support.
time, he might kick us off.
Saturday morning for sure. All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we chat with our final guest, we have a quick message from OU Health. Since the first marathon in 2001, OU Health has been a loyal and valued partner, serving as co-sponsor of the Marathon's Health and Fitness Expo. The expo serves as the official kickoff of Marathon Weekend, and thanks to OU Health's loyal partnership, has made this one of the most anticipated and fun marathon expos in the region. Be sure to stop by the OU Health booth at this year's expo.
My name is Jonathan Curtright, Chief Operations Officer for OU Health. As the original sponsor of the Health and Fitness Expo, we are proud of our enduring partnership with the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. The marathon serves to heal and restore while enriching our community. The marathon celebrates character, perseverance, and hope, values shared by OU Health. Congratulations to all our participants for your dedication and your spirit. Enjoy the race and the journey it represents.
Our final guests today are Mason and Kelsey Hudson, who have quite the story to tell. Welcome to the podcast, Mason and Kelsey. How are you guys today?
Thank you. We're doing great.
So you guys have, I guess, kind of a love story to tell from running?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, tell us about it.
Back in, several years ago, Kelsey posted a memory from her first marathon when she ran in Oklahoma City. And we were friends on Facebook, had never really talked to each other or had any interaction with each other. But I was planning on running a marathon at the time she posted that memory. So I commented on her post, and that's kind of what started everything between me and her. That was our first conversation, was about the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
So Kelsey, you ran back in 2018, and you were working through an injury, and tell us about how you worked through that and still ran the race.
During my training, I started having pain in my legs, and I wasn't sure what was going on. I changed my shoes, I changed my diet, drank more water, all the things, thinking that was what was wrong with my legs. And on the day that the race started, I was a little nervous going into it because I wasn't sure what to expect. But yeah.
And you were given some tough news at some point.
Yes. After I ran the marathon, in May. I was still having pain. And so I went to the doctor. I went to several doctors from May to August trying to find answers about what was going on with my legs. I finally got diagnosed with exertional compartment syndrome. After begging the doctors to test me for it, Dr. Middleton from McBride Orthopedics finally did the test for me, and it came back positive in all 4 compartments of both legs. And so when I met with the surgeon, he had told me that he thought I should take up swimming or biking because he wasn't sure that running was going to be in the cards for me anymore.
Wow. What is that?
Exertional compartment syndrome is when you have too much pressure building up in the compartments of your legs, and it presses on nerves, muscles.
So it's very painful.
That
It's
sounds
painful,
super
and
painful.
it causes numbness and tingling.
So he told you, which we know Dr. Middleton, we love him, but he told you to swim or bike and.
Well, the surgeon told me.
Oh, the surgeon.
Yeah,
Okay.
the surgeon told me to swim or bike because he didn't think running would.
So how did you get back into running after the surgery?
It was a very, very slow, long process. It took a long time for me to feel confident to run again. Actually, it wasn't even until me and Mason started dating that I started running further distances. Up until he and I started dating, I was only running a mile or 2 at a time, and I was scared to death every single time I went for a run because I was scared my legs would start hurting again. But we started running together, and he would just encourage me. Like, we went for a 3-mile run for the first time, and I was like, oh, I just did 3 miles. And we did a 4-mile run, and I was like so excited because after we hit 3 miles, he was like, every step you take, like, this is the farthest that you've run since your
Right,
surgery.
right.
And so that was just exciting, and we just built up my mileage from there.
When was your first race back after surgery?
I ran the 2022 half marathon.
Okay. And how did that feel to have that accomplishment of crossing the finish line?
Oh, it was so exciting. The entire race, I was nervous just because, like, the last time I had run that race, I was in pain.
Right.
And so every step I took, I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to have pain again? Am I going to hurt? And I was able to do it. I proved to myself that I could do hard things. And I was so excited to cross that finish line. And we ran side by side that entire race. And so we actually finished the race holding hands. So that was exciting.
Love that. How was Monday morning? Were you in pain the next day?
Oh, yeah.
You
Well,
were.
not my
normal
just
pain.
just
Normal
normal
pain.
Half
Okay.
marathon pain. Right. Mason, what about you? And have you experienced any setbacks in your running?
Yeah, so I planned on my first marathon being in Oklahoma City in 2019. I had nothing like Kelsey was dealing with, but just some knee pain, some lower leg stuff going on, and decided, unlike Kelsey, that I didn't want my first marathon experience to be miserable. There's always next year. Well, next year was 2020, and that was COVID.
That was a great year, wasn't it?
So put off to 21, tried staying in shape for 21, and then 21 again, it got put off until the fall. But fall of 21 is when it finally got to happen. And by then, keep in mind, 2019, I didn't even know Kelsey. But by 21, we were engaged to be married, and she was there with me for the race.
Yeah, let's go back to that Facebook message. So how did you have the confidence or the nerve or whatever to reach out and I don't want to get too personal, but how'd all that percolate?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there wasn't a lot of like confidence involved. I didn't have any expectations. I wasn't. I guess I was trying to shoot my shot, but not really. She lived in Moore at the time. I lived near Adair, so I didn't really think anything would come out of it. She was someone who grew up near me. We had a lot of connections, and it made sense to have a conversation with her about her experience at the marathon, which I came to find out wasn't a great experience.
So marathons would open the door.
But yes,
That's
yes,
great.
it was.
Should have been a Valentine's podcast story.
Right. We missed our opportunity. You guys do have a lot of I feel like there's a lot of marathon love stories.
Yeah, there are.
There's been proposals.
Sure.
at
Probably
the
too
finish
many.
lines and,
That crossed my mind actually at one point.
Did it really?
But we didn't go that route.
So Kelsey, what did you think when you got this Facebook message?
Truthfully, at first, I was just responded to be nice because the running community is so supportive that whenever he messaged me about running, I was like, oh, okay, another runner. And I knew we had a bunch of mutual friends, so I was like, this guy is from around my area. So I responded to be nice, and then we just continued talking about running, and it kind of got me excited, because back then I still wasn't running. And so it sparked more excitement for me to start running again after talking with him
That's
about
awesome.
it. So.
Yeah. And it's fun. I mean, I run with my husband, and it's just fun to have that.
It is.
It's
Running
fun to have
partner.
that to do. It's fun to have a running partner.
And I was never a running partner person, really, until Kelsey came around. And she really opened me up to the idea of actually
Do you
running
guys,
with somebody.
Do you guys talk when you run, or do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what advice would you give to runners preparing for the marathon and getting ready for 2026?
Oh, well, if it's your first marathon, I always tell people, just go into it with no time expectations. And everyone says this, I think, but just plan to finish. That should be your goal if it's your first time running a marathon. Very few people in the world ever accomplish that. So just finishing is a feat itself.
That's the truth.
Yeah, my advice would be listen to your body training. It's
But
not
you did, and you knew.
after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always so smart to run through those injuries.
Yeah, it's important to get, I think it's important to get things checked out to see if it's something that's safe to run through or not run
Right.
through. Yeah, because there are things that are bigger issues than others. And what's normal pain that you ran 20 miles yesterday and what's
Yeah.
not normal, sometimes that's hard to differentiate.
That's true.
Yeah.
So when you accomplished that, how did that make you feel? Getting through the surgery, going back out on the streets and running? Was that just an endurance or a personal victory? What was that like?
Yeah, I was proud of myself. It was a lot mentally to get through, and that was the hardest part, was the mental aspect. And so once I was able to get past that hurdle, I was so proud of myself. I was excited, and I was excited to tell my story and to prove that you can do hard things.
And I was so excited for her, too, because I didn't know her. She was a college athlete. She ran in college and high school, and I didn't know that part of her life. I just heard the stories. And so it's so exciting for me to see her kind of fall back in love with running again.
Yeah. And you guys have since welcomed a son.
Yes.
How
fun's
yeah,
that?
how fun is that?
It's so much fun.
Do you guys take him out in stroller runs?
Oh,
or?
all the time. It's been hard through the winter, just
Sure.
it's kind of cold for him. But yeah, when the weather's nice, 2 or 3 times a week, we're going on stroller runs. His English name is Cohen Wolf Hudson, but he also has a Shawnee name. It means he runs well. He was named kind of with the background that me and Kelsey have in how we met and what eventually became our son Cohen, who we both love.
Love
I
that.
know. Very cool. Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Well, great story. Best of luck to you both as you accomplish your goals this year. And I wish you all just success. And
Who's going to watch you
health.
race morning? You got
Probably one of my sisters or my
Okay.
mom. Last year they came up and
brought him to you.
Yeah, they pushed him around in a stroller while we ran.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to take a picture with him after the race.
That's-
So that
that's
was cute.
Very fun.
Yeah, so
Incredible.
he will be there with us one
So
day
he's
or
part
another.
of the journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
He'll
Thank you,
he'll grow
guys.
up around this race.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, what a great story.
Oh my gosh, what sweet folks, and
Yeah.
just I love what they've overcome, and
Sure.
they do it
And
together.
there's lots of people that experience setbacks, and I have personally, and I know that sometimes you kind of feel alone when you're experiencing those setbacks, or you feel like, did I do something wrong?
Right.
If I had done this and not that? And so it's just always nice to hear when people overcome.
Yep, and they're all the way from Pryor, so that's fun, and we're glad to have them.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. It's
Okay,
top
I'm
secret.
excited.
Although it has already been on the news, but the new shirts are printed. We're printing them locally this year, and so we'll hold
Oh,
them
wow. Oh,
up.
these are super
Isn't that
cool.
great?
Yeah.
This is the kid's shirt, so we'll have to get him one soon. But the handprints are on it for the little kids and the tree that make up the tree, and
Yeah.
we're doing this in Norman at University Silkscreen, our friends there, and this race would not be possible without all these folks. And so
Lots of sponsors on the back.
I'll just say we're less than 60 days out, and we are coming right along.
We are coming right along. And so these are the finisher shirts, correct?
These are the event shirts.
These are the event shirts.
We'll show the finisher shirts in a week or so.
Gotcha. Okay. So something to look forward
That's
to.
right.
So these are the event shirts. These are great. All right. Well, we are in March, so we're chugging along, Carrie.
We are.
It is
Don't
time
bring it up.
it's time to sign up. It's time to commit, and keep joining us every Friday for the Run to Remember podcast. We've got a new episode. Let us know your questions. Tell us your running stories at okcmarathon.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. This is your host, Kristen Fairs. Let's marathon.